On the line with us. Is a professor.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It's HAL, SPARKS, MEGAWORDLWIDE, and I'm sorry to say this is the end. That's right, the day we never thought would come. It's a torturous story we all have to tell, but everything good eventually gets sort of abrasive after a while if you don't change your technique. And so, clearly, as the great demise of the Biden White House, sadly, at just 2 years old, struck down in its prime. The very end of all things. Biden's it was nice while we had it. The CHIPS Act, we'll never forget that. The infrastructure bill, I know what you're thinking. He's still got 2 years to serve, but no, it's the end. It's the end, my friends, and I'm sorry. We're going to have to face it sooner or later. We're going to have to rip, just like Portland. We must say goodbye to the Biden presidency, which is just a shell of its former self, a crater, if you will. It has nothing left. It's just, I guess, it's going to while away its days, hiding out in an old Florida mansion, enjoying the musty smell and the sea brine, watching the wallpaper start to flake because of the humidity, and praying an alligator that's just a bump in the grass and not something that's going to snap at you. And how do I know this? How do I know that the Biden document story isn't the giant story that, well, that it is the giant story, that it's not just some random bump in the road story like you have in any presidency that gets handled, and of course in the whataboutism of the world, pairing it right next to Trump actually makes him look worse as time goes on. How do I know that this is it? There's no further to go. We've got nothing. We're never going to get there. How do I know? I'll tell you how I know, God damn it. Because of this man. This man, Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly tells me, Joe's time has come. Joe's time has come. Sorry, it's a little early for a Iron Maiden reference in the show. He's finished. He's done. Well, he's certainly done a lot of bill signing. You know, you know what? Joe, take a month. You've earned it. Luckily, you actually do have something close to the best people, hashtag the best people, running actual things. So you probably could coast for a month and enjoy the view of people like Greg Kelly. But now, Greg, who's been, you know, he's had a tough go of it lately. He's been like, Don Jr.'s had a huff go of it lately. That's different. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Greg Kelly has, it's been, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough week to be, month, year even, to be Greg Kelly. I mean, what was he going to be clamoring on about? Gas stoves? I mean, how many times can you do a story about how Trump said the Afghanistan exit was the most embarrassing thing that America's ever done? Besides, I would add, staying in Afghanistan for 21 years. But that's another thing. Let's if anyone is going to put a pin in this and let us know it's over. Look, they sprung on a graphic with the Biden Center, the House, he's finished, top secret documents, which I think is a picture of stuff from Trump's, from Mar-a-Lago, and Biden actually driving a car, which again is not, I don't think it's kind of backhanded because it reminds people that Trump can't actually drive. And golf carts don't count. They do when you're my 11-year-old son. They definitely count when you're an 11-year-old. 11 to 13, really, if you can manage a golf cart with that level of maturity and brain growth, it's impressive. And keep it top side up, you're good. But, you know, as a septuagenarian, we expect more. I expect my septuagenarians to be able to know how to operate a clutch, God damn it. So anyways, let's jump right in. We're going to deal with the documents case. I've been trying to wait till more details come out so we can really see the boil on it, because it's going to be gone in a couple of weeks. But I mean, they'll have a commission and blah blah blah, but it'll retread the same shit, Benghazi style, for months, while totally ignoring Trump fighting having the docs that he had. Joe's time has come. Okay, everyone, drape yourself in black. Get ready for the demise. Here it comes from Greg Kelly. And expect a lot of tongue jutting and looking side to side.
He's done. It is over for Joe Biden. Absolutely.
That's right.
This is fatal.
Yeah, that's it. There's no way he should just quit and tell Trump he can just throw the reins to him.
Documents all over town, carelessly, recklessly. Now, am I getting
as opposed to what? Carefully organized so you can sell them?
ahead of myself?
Yeah, I think you are. And first tongue jut, ladies and gentlemen, where he rolls. I mean, that's a big one. That's almost the entire ham right there.
No, I am so confident.
Are you? I can tell. You look like a confident man. You don't look at all like a man who's puffy from alcohol. You don't look that way. I thought it because is it me, guys? Because we see a lot of Greg. No?
I know he won't be the nominee.
Yeah, you do? Boy, is he going to be disappointed.
I don't think he's going to finish one term in office.
You could actually stop at you don't think, and we'll pick it up from there.
Here's the deal. What happened?
Okay. here's the deal.
Yesterday. Here's the deal.
He caught himself.
He lost his moral authority. Now, moral authority, how could a guy like Joe Biden have moral authority?
Well, apparently he had it and he lost it somehow. I mean, it happens when you're old. You walk into the room and you're like, honey, where's my moral authority? And you're looking all over and she walks in and goes, it's right here. And you're like, oh, God. My senior moment.
Believe it or not.
Yes, I believe it. Or not. I don't know. I haven't really made up my mind.
That's how he became president.
Thank you, TOH Show Live, for the subs. Bless you.
President, right? I mean, he was the truth teller compared to Donald Trump and his lies.
Right, and that's why this whole thing still fits in with that. That's it. All right, but go on.
And the media reinforced that day in, day out, right? How many lies did Trump tell? Oh,
right, but I mean, you're going to start believing him now?
Over and over and over again. Oh, by the way, those lists that document all the lies, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Those lists are lies.
Oh, okay. Well, then how do I even keep track? The lies are lies. If everything you say is a lie, then the truth is like bzz, bzz. I need you to understand that everything I say is a lie. But if what you said was a lie, then that was a lie. And
I'm going to debunk.
Don't you understand? It's Voyager, my God spot.
One of those lists in just a moment, but...
Great, yeah. Go back and forth. Vacillate between Trump lies and the Biden statements and just mix them up.
First, do you remember? This was his justification. Joe Biden looked everybody in the eye and said he was a man of integrity.
You know who I am. You know who he is. You know his character. You know my character. Mm-hmm. You know our reputations for honor and telling the truth. Mm-hmm. I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. I am the character.
You're not wrong. This is not going to pay off the way Greg thinks it pays off. Because again, in shutting down the Penn office, they found some stuff in a locked closet. They saw them. They returned them immediately to NARA. They said, we should look in case there's any of the other stuff. So go through any boxes from his time as vice president. Make sure there's nothing in there. They found a few more things. They returned them immediately. It's literally in the no harm, no foul. That's what actually Trump claimed he was allowed to do before he claimed he could magically declassify everything. And then Trump, of course, fought the whole thing for a year, lied about what he had, got a subpoena, didn't act on it. And then during the time he had the subpoena, when they saw the security footage, he had people taking boxes out of the room that was supposed to have a padlock on it. Fuck off.
Of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at us closely.
I actually was looking at him closely for decades. I remember.
Right. Yes, it was weird. I remember you, like, anytime we were in a restaurant, Greg, I trying to have a conversation with you, and Joe Biden is like even a picture. He's on the television. You're like, and I'm like, Thirst Squad, pay attention.
As a college freshman, when he got caught running for president and all those lies, I had this guy's number, but a lot of people didn't. They forgot.
Greg, between that happening and now, you have been accused of sexual assault, and your dad got the charges knocked up. Like, focus.
They didn't know in the first place. The media covered for him. And now?
No, they didn't. He was caught lying, and he had to leave the race. That whole scandal is why Dukakis was the guy who ran. The fuck? What?
Now we all know those people who said that this guy was the alternative, the integrity. So we know what happened down there in Mar-a-Lago, right? The FBI raided the compound, totally unjustified. President.
They did not raid it. They didn't raid it. They knocked, served a warrant, did a search. It's not a raid. Again, they didn't come in through the fucking skylights. Jesus Christ. It wasn't the end of Dumb and Dumber. This might be, but we'll see.
Trump, remember, had declassification authority.
No, he didn't. Because he gave back documents in sealed red envelopes with full knowledge that they were not declassified. In between. So if he magically declassified all that shit, why the fuck did he ever need to handle it as classified intel? If he declassifies it, it's public record, you dumb son of a bitch. They handed back like literally a tape-wrapped red envelope, sealed so the fucker floats if it gets tossed overboard so it can be recovered. He had awareness that it wasn't declassified. He knew it wasn't declassified. That's why when they returned some of the shit, they returned it, by the way, dragging ass for months and months. But when they finally got around to it, after they got some new toner for the Xerox, I guess, when they finally returned the originals, God knows what fucking copies he made. When he turned the originals, he returned them in a red classified envelope, wrapped with plastic. Dum-dum.
He arrived at Mar-a-Lago on January 20th, 2021. He was still the president of the United States, had access and authority over all of those documents. But what did Joe Biden do in that moment? Look at the indignation, the self-righteousness, remember.
When you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago, what did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
Hey, nobody's perfect, right?
Yeah, hey, nobody's perfect, right? It was a mess. You know, yeah, sure, there were ketchup thumbprints on fucking everything. But look, I guess you never make a mistake, Mr. Perfect!
And people are human beings, and people...
Most people. Most people are human beings. Not all human beings are people. We'll figure that out.
People tell lies from time to time.
Yeah, and I don't know why you're looking at the fucking ceiling all of a sudden, Greg. People, some people lie, and it happens. Nobody's perfect. And some lies need to be handled by your dad.
It happens.
It does. It does actually happen. It's been known to happen.
I think actually a lie from time to time could be forgivable.
Is that the name of your second book?
But the hypocrisy.
Oh, the hypocrisy. Oh, it's just hypocrisy. Yeah, where Biden says that, and then he finds these documents, and then he spends a year fighting with NARA, and then decides I could all of a sudden, I'm president, I'm going to declassify them right now. I'm not returning them. What'd you find? That's declassified. I'm president right now. I didn't even have to do it at the last fucking second. They're declassified anyways. I don't know. Blink, blink. And then, of course, when he got the subpoena from NARA, and he's fucking hanging out in the White House going, fuck you.
And it's so clear cut.
It's so clear cut. He's currently president.
So easy to understand.
Is it? Because I'm finding your argument confusing.
And it's so in your face. This hypocrisy will never be forgotten, and it will never be forgiven.
Joe Biden, you have broken Greg Kelly's heart. Most people couldn't find it. And then other people, it looks like a bit like a kidney stone. But you, sir, have found some way to crack open the grinchy little kidney stone heart of Greg Kelly. And you have damaged it irreparably, sir. It shall never beat freely again. It will ever be tarnished with your lies. Your lies.
Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
but at any rate,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my Corvette.
Yeah, he's being cute. So is Ducey. I mean, the worst thing about all this is look at Greg. That little boy's hopes are broken.
How could that possibly happen, to quote Joe Biden? Documents next to that silly, stupid car.
That silly, stupid American car. Fuck you, classic car lovers. That silly, stupid car. What? Honest to God, can we just there's no fucking way I'd go back and watch like hours of Greg Kelly, this performance art he calls his Newsmax show, but there's no fucking way he doesn't have some sort of show about like macho cars and how new modern electric cars are like girly, green, gay vehicles. The fuck are you talking about? That thing's awesome. It's like a convertible version of John Wick's car. Jesus Christ.
That he was showing off all the time.
Showing off his driving stick shift skills like a bastard. Showing it off.
I always knew he'd be revealed.
Did you? Finally, this is the day.
Always knew it.
Oh, yeah?
And oh, by the way, even this silly stunt for the cameras, I don't know if it was Jay Leno's garage or what, we got to look at where those documents might have been found. Like everybody else's garage, it's a...
Yes, that is... Or it could be Christmas decorations. We don't know. Could be shoeboxes. I'm guessing those are Dr. Jill Biden. That's a lampshade. I'm pretty sure that's a lampshade in the back. That's half a cardboard box I can see there. I think is that they think this right there is the top of one of those business file boxes and other stuff is in front of it. Yes? Is that our theory?
A crummy, kind of messy place, right?
Crummy. These poor, they weren't in a fancy place like Mar-a-Lago with painted cherubs on the ceiling like a classy joint where Melania Trump can fart omelets through a fancy French knuckled chair. They didn't get to be in a nice place. Mar-a-Lago's fancy. They were in a shitty garage. It was ugly. It's one thing. Sure, Trump left his documents out all over the fucking place, but have you seen that desk? It's gorgeous. Oh, God. Joe Biden, those documents were in a box in a garage. You don't think spies would go, there's the lampshade. They're definitely near the lampshade.
And secret documents in the midst? That's unforgivable. Hey,
is it? Yeah, it's totally unforgivable. Especially the part where they were like, you know what, check those boxes. Make sure there's nothing in there that's still left over from that stuff. It might have gotten packed away with other things. And then they find them, they're like, yep, let's send them into the NARA, right? Immediately, within 4 hours.
the documents in Mar-a-Lago, they were being maintained according to National Archive and FBI specifications. They were...
The fuck they were, dummy! They told him to put a padlock on the door because there wasn't one for a fucking year and a half. His garage was locked. That storage room at Mar-a-Lago was not. Where was Anna de Rothschild's during the time when it would have taken a credit card or a bobby pin to get into that storage locker? Secondly, when they put the padlock on, who the fuck says they ever locked it? We had a padlock on it. Yeah, but you didn't shut it. But it's there. Right. And then the National Archives gets footage of the cameras that look at where the storage closet, where it was. And turns out that after they served the subpoena and said put a lock on that fucking door, people were going into that room and walking out with boxes and taking them to Trump's office. That's why there was a fucking search and seizure warrant, not a raid.
We're in communication about it. The FBI visited and said, hey, we want one more lock. They put another lock on.
They put a padlock on and never latched it. Feel free to at me.
And then there was this.
Uh-oh.
People know I take classified documents and classified material seriously.
Here he is again.
This fucker. God damn it. He's saying it, and then he, you know, just because they find that stuff and then they turn it over immediately. What's the difference? 4 hours, a year and a half, with a subpoena, without a subpoena, telling NARA that you've already given it to him, then finding out it's still there. What's the difference? It's all hypocrisy. Are there any dreams left?
Banking on your naive assumption that
Yeah, you can take that to the bank.
he's a good guy, that he has integrity because he's Scranton Joe, because he's been around for a long time. We've got his number. I've always had it. You've always had it. But
Why didn't you call him and tell him there was shit in his garage then, if you had his number?
now, even Democrats are realizing this is too much. Why are we defending this guy? He's finished. And then, not only in the garage was there a secret document, but also in his parlor, his pantry. What was it?
They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my personal library.
His personal library, garage, office downtown. Where else?
Probably, you know what? I don't know. Has anybody checked Ivana Trump's grave? I've just heard buzz that there were very possibly classified documents. Or it might have been some of them. It might be different ones. You know what? Never mind. It's probably somebody else's.
Where else? What else did he do with these things?
By the way, one of the problems that they're having with this whole bullshit is that, you know how Biden was supposed to have gotten $1 billion out of China? And we'll get to some of that shit in a minute, right? Every time they go, all right, where is he at? Where are his properties? Well, there's the house, and there was the old office. That's it. That's it. I'm just saying, who the fuck gets $1 billion out of any country and at whatever, 72, let's say at the time, goes, you know what? Sock it away in an account. I'll spend it in a decade.
What was he doing with these things? And he's being very, very guarded in his speech, reading from a script. But you know, there are tells.
Yep, here it is. Watch for him. I don't know what they are, but Greg will tell. His dad was a cop, hence the brushing away of sexual assault charges. But, I guess I've heard it's good for that, apparently. I don't have any Ellie that close in my family. I've got a cousin and an uncle, but let's see what the tells are. He wrote a book on it. No, I'm not wrote a book. He read a book. He saw a book. The book, it was a pickup artist book.
They've been bragging that they told the authorities right away. As soon as they found these documents, they called the cops or they called the National Archives. They told
Everybody. They dialed 911 immediately.
everybody. Watch when he says that again. Watch what happens when you're lying.
When you're lying, you tend to look at the ceiling. Let's see if the tell that he spots that he thinks Joe Biden is using is one of his. What do you think?
Lying, sometimes you're nervous and sometimes you stutter. I think that's
He's got a stutter. What the fuck?
the real story behind Joe Biden's stutter. Take a
Yes. The problem is he's had a lifelong stutter because he's just a lifelong liar. And it's just words are hard.
look.
Department of Justice was immediately, as was done, the Department of Justice was immediately notified.
It's a little trouble with that one, huh? Immediately.
Contacted versus notified. Notified is different than contacted. You can call and hang up. These are legal variations of the phrase or specific. Notified is the actual thing you want to say. So fucking what? By the way, two gentlemen, can I just say they're both looking down right now? Greg, how do I know that you're not just doing what you're looking down at your notes? Or are you?
Notified. these things were hanging around as long as 5 years potentially. Actually, 6 years. 6 years.
And they were exactly where they left him. Weird. They didn't move around. They were in that locked closet. No, by the way, the closet at Penn, that office was opened in 2018.
And I noticed this on Tuesday when he was in Mexico.
By the way, he still has his, even from his presidency, still had his classified clearance.
What's up with all the lawyers? What's up with all the lawyers, huh?
Yeah, why would you want people doing lawyery stuff? I mean, what's up with all of Trump's lawyers that look like they're at a casting for a porn version of Law and Order? I think is a better question.
Cleaning out an office?
When my lawyers were clearing out my office at the University of Pennsylvania, they set up an office for me, secure office in the Capitol.
Lawyers. Why would lawyers be emptying out Joe Biden's office? Lawyers. What about your secretary? What about one of your grandkids? What about you, actually?
Yeah, he's not busy. He's just the president of the fucking United States. And who the fuck sends their grandkids? Are you out of your fucking mind? This seriousness at the level of... well, again, this asshole loves Trump. And Trump, treats his business and the presidency. He treated both just like jars of candy. You could just kind of reach in with whatever fucking hand.
Actually, no. And in Washington, D.C., he chose lawyers, plural, to do it. How much do they make? Something like $1,000.
The top hourly rate. I mean, they might have given him, it's lawyers that move. It's a moving company that are all legal. It's because it's the same companies do document securing and shredding and that kind of stuff of all kinds, whatever.
$1,000 an hour. Joe Biden could be in more trouble than we even know about.
Ew. Look at the slathery tongue jutting. This motherfucker has no idea. This is the graphic. This is a story about the president of the United States finding classified documents in a former office, sending them to NARA and doing a sweep of his house to make sure there wasn't other shit in there. Like, hey, you guys go through all that stuff. Don't worry about it. And if you find anything that shouldn't be there, contact NARA and give it right back to him because this is important. And he's got a lawyer and security to do it and blah blah blah. This is a story about at that level, right? On a national level, that's pretty big shit. It's made it across all the top news stories. It's blurbed its way, into every news hour on cable at least 5 times in the last 3 days. Sometimes in the same hour. And this is the quality of gotcha that this motherfucker has come up with, which is, do you know how much lawyers cost? Obviously, these lawyers get paid in yuan, I guess. And then the tongue jutting, which is a tell, ladies and gentlemen, that this asshole does when he knows he's talking out of his ass. Now, in all fairness, sometimes Greg Kelly doesn't know he's talking out of his ass because he's kind of a true believer and he's also stupid. So that, half the time, he's telling the same bullshit. He's just not aware of his ignorance. He just thinks he's got it. There are times, though, when he absolutely has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, and he knows he has no idea what he's talking about, and that's what happens. It happens all the fucking time. And the other thing is like he's looking for a pencil that he wants to eat. That whole thing, that business. We spotted that early on. It's fucking gross. It's so gross.
And I want to emphasize this. A lot of folks think that when you're an ex-vice president of the United States, you get all kinds of perks and privileges. Not really.
No, not at all. You get to stand in the back with Mike Pence. Fuck that guy. He did write a best-selling book.
On January 20th, 2017, you got incoming President Trump, outgoing President Obama. Both of those gentlemen will receive Secret Service protection for the rest of their lives. At that point, Joe Biden was just an ex-vice president of the United States. And he could expect, along with Mike Pence, if he doesn't become president, and he won't, Secret Service protection for 6 months. And then that's it. And then you're on your own.
This is also evidence. This is the idea that, shit, man. I knew Greg would boil down the right-wing argument about this shit better than anyone. Like, he would, if there was a fine detail around this that would shock all of us and make us rethink our feelings towards Biden as a president, Greg would find it.
And he never, ever once, while he worked in government, had declassification authority. No.
No, but he had he had access to classified documents, the right to have them, read them. None of those, by the way, are skiff removed. Insofar as we know, we'll find out what's in them, or at least a general picture of what's in them. But the interesting thing is, there never had to be an affidavit for a search warrant explaining why the shit is so important. So we don't know what some of those things are, even though they had to do with UK, they had to do with Ukraine or Afghanistan or North Korea, whatever the fuck. In general, but that could have been the fucking menu on the flight when he was going on airports too. That still, qualifies as those kind of classified documents. But his access to them, or his ability to read and have them, never went away, because Trump was going to remove Obama and Biden's top secret classification, and he chickened out. Biden did that to Trump, though.
It's just not there.
And he didn't have to declassify. By the way, Trump never declassified that shit. He keeps going back to that. But again, the red envelope sinks that whole fucking boat. It's just dumb.
And what about Hunter Biden? If there's a Biden...
Oh, my God. He's smoking in bed. Stop it. Why do you have to put that up? It's just filth. Does he not realize, A, it's a fire hazard, and B, it's an extra $500 on your hotel bill. You can't smoke. They have already run it on your credit card. You can't smoking in bed.
Scandal, Hunter must be involved, and this...
He's got to be.
One, too, yes. So who owns Joe Biden's house where these secret documents were found? Is it Joe Biden's? I'm not sure. I've never actually...
But hey, he doesn't know. But that shouldn't stop us from drawing the most drastic conclusions we can.
I've seen the deed. I've never seen the mortgage, but I have seen this, and you will too. Hunter Biden filled out a background check to buy a gun, and he claimed that he owned this house. And he just might. He just might. From the laptop, we know that their finances were intertwined. Hunter complained about all the stuff that he had to buy for Joe Biden. And oh, by the way...
There is no laptop, by the way.
He was getting notices about all the bills.
By the way, notice all the metadata in this shot? I know. You're saying, that's a picture of a picture of a printout of a blown up graphic of... Is that how it was written? To Hunter Biden? Is that what his email... who? That guy must have been rich. Because only rich people can have an email address that's just your name in quotes. Fuck. It must be some sort of Chinese technology he was in bed with, you know what I'm saying?
Bills that had to be paid at his father's house, quote unquote. Take a look at this. And keep in mind, this is when the father was vice president. All these repairmen coming by, fixing things.
Oh, my God. The garage, no, not the garage. The garage, no, not the garage, not the garage, the retain. Didn't they fix, there had to be something to fix in the fucking garage.
What about when he's an ex-vice president of the United States? Anybody had access to the house. It wasn't a big deal. It's not like going to the White House. You don't have to go through Secret Service checkpoints. You just go there.
Yeah, I didn't know if you know that. I mean, obviously, Greg Kelly, if he tried to go to Mike Pence's house, would run into some trouble. But
and maybe you see the documents. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's how you do it. I mean, it was like it's like Graceland for bullshitters. You just go down there, you know, Joe tells you a story that right out of the George Santos playbook, and then he shows you some documents, and then you give him $1,239 and he uses it to fix the AC.
No, I don't know.
You're right, you don't know. You do not know.
To where we started.
By the way, can I just remind everyone before we continue in the rest of this, because he's going to loop back, this will go ultimately nowhere. This will fall flat, and we will be watching angry videos of Greg Kelly and others going, is there no justice that can come after the president? They can raid Mar-a-Lago, but Joe Biden has clearly in the garage, and then they find that he's, you know, like less than what Hillary Clinton got. Blah, blah, blah. Like, we're all seeing that shit. It's the same bullshit tee up.
He's finished. This story may actually diminish in the next.
Uh-oh. Greg is starting to grow as a man. Man's got to know his own limitations.
Couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean it goes away. And
no, it never goes away. It won't ever. Not like the white supremacy hand signal. It will never go away. Sorry.
That doesn't mean that Democrats are taking a good look and saying, why are we defending this guy?
There he is. There he's doing it again. Do I have a fucking pencil? That shit again. Understand, this is Greg Kelly telling Democrats, yourself and myself in general, what we think. So far, he's doing very well.
And look at the lies, okay? If I know this, they know this, okay? Everybody knows this. He can't stop lying about anything. Everything is dishonest. Everything about him, his whole career.
The number of trips to China, number of meetings with Xi, drunk driver killed family, shot at overseas. Oh, is it the idea that the driver wasn't drunk, or they took it as meaning it was drunk, or when he was talking about drunk drivers killing people, he talked about his family being killed in a car accident, and people went, oh, it correlated the two.
And I mentioned earlier,
one international moot court competition graduate, Bo died in Iraq, died because of stuff in Iraq. Never mind.
When I first found out about Joe Biden, we don't play this all the time, but I think we have to from time to time. Joe
Sorry, the lip licking is freaking me the fuck out now.
Biden, as a sitting United States senator running for the presidency, said this, and everything he said is not true.
In 1987, and he stepped down because of it.
What law school did you attend, and where did you place in that class? And the other question is, could you quickly, I think
I probably have a much higher IQ than you do, I suspect. I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. In the first year in law school, I decided I didn't want to be in law school and ended up in the bottom 2/3 of my class, and then decided I wanted to stay, went back to law school, and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I won the International Moot Court competition. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only need 123 credits, and I'd be delighted to sit down and compare my IQ to yours if you'd like, Frank.
And look at that face. Look at the smug face. Everything he just said was a lie. But
Well, no, it wasn't. Like, there's like 3 embellishments in there, and they caught up with him, and he had to retract them. This is 1987. Yeah, we know. Asked and answered, fucko.
See that? How please.
Dude, and by the way, imagine this dude being, this is 1987. Imagine this dude being fucking this mad about Trump saying that Mexico was going to pay for the fucking wall the entire time he ran, and then just blowing it the fuck off. What about getting us out of Afghanistan? At all. Much less well and beautifully and gracefully and honorably.
Pleased he is with himself. He wouldn't be for long back then.
I'm almost glad this clip exists simply so that we can watch Greg Kelly seethe.
The media, they weren't afraid like they are today.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
Newsweek says Biden actually went to school on a half scholarship, ended up near the bottom of his class, and won only 1 degree, not 3.
Joe Biden ranked 76th in a class of 85 at the University of Syracuse Law School. I mean, this guy comes off this whole thing as a flyweight.
Now Biden says Newsweek is right. His memory had failed him.
How do you come back from that? How do you come back from that?
Years of service. One of the ways you do it is say, do something like craft the crime bill and the Violence Against Women Act. Because the way, and admitting it. And then when you do gainfully productive legislative achievements, then people start going, all right, maybe you learned your lesson and you're getting better at this. And then over time, you actually manage to make up for those things. And in your years of service, people decide that you're worth having around. Now, the reason Greg Kelly's mad is because Trump got caught lying so late in the game, there's no coming back.
Maybe you come back from that with some help from the Chinese and some...
Oh, fuck me. Really? We're going to get into this shit? Okay, hang on one second. Because I posted something earlier today, and I don't know if people saw it, but it's an important... It was from months ago, but an important article nonetheless. And I wrote this up. Hold on one second. This is the first one. You guys have heard me make this argument before, but the House GOP are still unable to articulate how Biden is compromised by China, in quotes. If Biden got billions from China, China got the AUKUS agreement, the CHIPS Act, the biggest exodus of U.S. factories from a country in history, and our support for Taiwan. Biden fucked China. They paid him for the beating. And then there was another piece that I pointed out because I was trying to, there were a bunch of people bringing this nonsense up, and I wanted to throw like I didn't want to reiterate the same points. And let me see if I can find this real quick. I know it's earlier. Hold on. I'm scrolling. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. Maybe it got stuck and didn't post. Maybe that's the idea. Anyways, sorry. I'll be able to find it. This one. How would you feel if you're China and you gave Hunter Biden $1 billion for influence against his dad, and then the guy gets in office and starts the most direct, consequential, and historic attacks on your manufactured CCP economy in world history? How does that work? Honest to God, at some point, all of these like Biden's controlled by China people, Glenn Beck, Greg, fucking Fox News, any of these assholes, have to answer the question. If he really got that money from China, oh my God, China got fucked in that deal. So what did Biden roll China? Because it looks like it. It looks like Biden is rolling China. He got him over a barrel. He tricked them. Because it's the biggest smokescreen in history. That's exactly right. I don't understand it. Because we saw that fucking Frank Gaffney piece with Dinesh yesterday, and that was the hardest, just beating of that dead horse I've seen in a long time. Jesus.
Cover from your boss, Barack Obama, who I actually believe is still running the show behind the scenes.
Well, then what difference does it make if he's running the show behind the scenes? He had declassification authority. Maybe he declassified that shit for Joe. Maybe he gave him a blanket pardon on the way out.
And he's still lying, of course, and the lies have gotten more egregious. If that's too ancient history for you, take a look at this. Hunter was married to Kathleen. The late Bo, great guy by the way, was married to Haley. So Bo dies. What happens next? Hunter starts hooking up with Haley, his sister-in-law.
Right. This, by the way, this isn't a story about classified documents. I don't know when we get to the Harry and Meghan part of it, but I'm waiting patiently.
The widow of his dead brother.
Yes, we gather that from the dead brother part.
This is insane stuff. This is sordid, bad stuff.
Why?
This is the kind of thing, and look, families have stories, but this...
Do they? Do they really? Really? Tell us one of yours, Greg. Tell us the story about when you were accused of sexual assault. What was it? I mean, your dad and you sit down, you light up a cigar, your dad tells you to take your shoes off the coffee table, you start crying, then what?
This is the kind of thing that you say, you know what, we're not running for president with this kind of thing.
What? No, it isn't. How in the... What is... Yeah, you're right. You know what? Central Scrutinizer says in the chat, Hunter did smoke in a bathtub as well. So you're right. I would call the whole thing off. I mean, you're never going to win. And by the way, they kept this hidden until after he was... Oh, no, everyone knew? No one gave a shit? Great.
Hanging over our head, right?
No, it's not hanging over your head. Two people after the death of one hooking up. It doesn't matter. I don't care. If that's how it worked out, that's fucking life. What are you talking about?
It was devastating inside the Biden family. Kathleen.
They are inside the Biden family, dum-dum. That's his fucking brother. That's her fucking husband.
Hunter's wife, now ex-wife, she wrote about it in her memoir. Yes, this is her words. Take a look. She writes as...
Uh-oh. We're about to hear language about a breakup. Now, I don't know if these pages were hidden in the garage, under the Corvette, near the classified documents, but we'll find out.
Follows. If anything, I felt a strange vindication. This is when she found out. She suspected all along. Not only had I not been crazy, but it was so much worse than I could have imagined. How devastating that must have been.
And, what, honest to God, first of all, bless her heart, but affairs and breakups and all that kind of stuff, they all read like that. All of them. Also, and go to the next paragraph. It was worse than I could have imagined. But eventually I would learn to forgive them as the father of my children, blah, 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 blah.
For her husband fooling around with the sister-in-law. It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Like, Greg is basically jealous that apparently Hunter's getting a lot of ass. That seems to be the thing that's upsetting Greg Kelly the most.
But what does a guy like Joe Biden do with this? We just saw how easily lies come to him, how proud he is of himself.
Oh, it's disgusting. Then what does he do? What does he say about this? Something about he loves his son. Have you seen this picture of him with his kid where he's like kissing him and he's asking him to get his life together and telling him he loves him? It's disgusting. My dad would never do that.
What did the Bidens come out with after this came out? They put out a public statement. We are all lucky that Hunter and Haley found each other as they were putting their lives together again after such sadness. They have mine and Jill's full and complete support, and we are happy for them.
Oh, it's disgusting. Support, happiness. That's not how families work. You're supposed to call your dad. You're supposed to hold the phone away from your head because he screams loser so loud you might go deaf, and then you throw it in the toilet and cry.
Now, fortunately, this is a lie. Could you imagine if they were really happy for them? But it is a lie. They will.
What? The Biden family has a messy history. Unlike, hold on. The Kelly family has a messy history. It's just terrible how the Kelly family has a messy history. And then, oh wait, hold on one second. They have to say TV's Greg Kelly because there's another Greg Kelly that was assaulting children. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, this is the. I mean, it's a messy history. That's all I can say. I don't know. It's just you know what I mean. And now, let's see. What do we say? Okay, Greg Kelly. Let's see if it's maybe over here. Greg Kelly Wikipedia. Okay, let's see. Background president. 2017. Greg Kelly is married. Where is it? Yeah, born Gregory Raymond Kelly. Okay. Judith Gray Kelly. They married in 2017, and no kids. It seems. Yeah. He was an aviator, a Harrier jump jet pilot, as a Marine attack on 211. Good for him. Yeah, here it is. This is his personal life Wikipedia. It's very small, but whatever. Kelly is married to Judith Gray, a creative director in advertising. They were married on November 12, 2017 at New York's University Club. That's nice. Next chapter. In February 2012, Kelly was investigated by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office upon accusations of rape. Kelly was never arrested nor charged with a crime. After investigation, the district attorney issued a letter stating that under New York state criminal law, the incident did not constitute a crime. Kelly returned to work February 13th, 2012. Well, that's nice. So it was this was the. They just decided to move on from that? How's that work? The official. No rape charges for Greg Kelly. Well, good for you. Look at that. Oh, I don't want that. No, thank you. I can move out. Please. I mean, it's better than looking at his face, but for fuck's sake. No charges will be filed against morning television host Greg Kelly, the son of New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly, in connection with a woman's allegation that he raped her after a night of drinking, according to a letter from prosecutors. Well, I'm sure it has nothing to do with his dad being the police commissioner at all.
Will do anything for power.
Or to support their kids. Which obviously you've not experienced with your dad, except in one particular instance, perhaps.
This was the time to retire.
Yes, he should have quit while he was not president yet.
And he didn't. And he did it.
Oh, it's terrible.
And yet they say that Donald Trump is the liar. Right? 30,573. Hey, anytime you see one of those lists, you got to remember this situation. Who remembers when there was a government shutdown and I think Clemson football team won the championship or whatever? They had no White House chefs, so Trump sends them out to go buy a bunch of hamburgers. And it was a pretty cool moment, actually.
No, you could smell the fucking photo. It was gross.
Here's the president talking to the football players in the East Room of the White House.
And I said, you guys aren't into salads. Or do I go out, Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott, do I go out and send out for about 1,000 hamburgers, Big Macs? So we actually did. We bought 1,000 Burger King, all American companies. We literally have, and I don't know, have they started eating and devouring, having? I wanted to see, so it was piled up a mile high.
Jesus Christ. Okay, first of all, obviously a lie. It was not piled up a mile high, and I don't understand how this guy always lying, and how does he even live with himself? It's over. He should have quit then. He could have just stepped down. A mile of burgers. This guy's clearly losing it.
Mile high. All those hamburgers. Great moment, right?
Yeah, but a material lie, if that's what you're talking about. And also, not a great moment. Fucking disappointing. Weird and stupid.
Lots of hamburgers for everybody. Look at
lots of hamburgers for everybody, because there are no hamburger restaurants local in the Washington fucking D.C. area where you could send out for them that wasn't a fucking chain. Literally, you know why Trump ultimately did that, right? Because Biden got all this credit for going to Five Guys. Obama did. Obama kept going to Five Guys. Remember that? And it was kind of a cool, hip thing that he went to Five Guys and that they liked getting it. And it was one of the things when they would get a burger, they would, he would sometimes walk down there and it was just a surprise. And Biden went in there and sometimes they would send out for it. If they wanted to eat something that was, a little more just kind of off the rack, they would go to Five Guys. There's a huge drop off between Five Guys, even as a chain, and a fucking Big Mac, which is like toilet paper.
Look at what the fake news did. Look at this. President Trump's extravagant $3,000 300 sandwich celebration of Clemson University. According to our count, Trump spent about $2,911 on feeding the team. This includes 319 sandwiches, 177 of which were hamburgers, and, fact check, at 2 inches each, 1,000 burgers would not reach 1 mile high. These are the kinds of things that found their way onto that silly list. Rolling Stone had a big write-up, Donald Trump and his lies about the volume of fast food hamburgers. Meanwhile, we have probably the worst liar in the history of the world in Joe Biden.
That's his comeback. That was the one. That was his cherry pick. That's his picking strawberries right now.
And he gets away with it until today, actually. Until today.
What happened?
It's over.
What happened today?
It's over.
I'm sorry. Oh, you meant your whole segment because you think he's done. I have news for you. He's let's see, when was this posted? 18 hours ago. So Biden was president again today.
He was still snowing a good chunk of the country. He can't anymore.
No, we're all torn apart about it. This morning I could barely eat my Weetabix.
Those who have been protecting him, that's over.
I've given up on it. I'm you know what? There is a Hunter Biden laptop. Fuck it. I'm just going to be a believer now. That's, you talk me into it, Greg.
Gone. It's not going to happen. And the press, you know what?
They're being okay about it because they're trying to fight back against the imbalanced charges by, the right wing about them.
They're starting to feel aggressive. Not because they're brave, but because they've been authorized. But check this out.
Wait a minute. So, all right, wait. Biden, according to Greg Kelly, there's a lot because they've been authorized. We get into deep state territory with this. This is good. So the idea is, I guess Obama, who really runs things, but let's just play with it for a second, that Biden, in the discovery of these documents and the returning of them to NARA and going through all this stuff, has authorized MSNBC and CNN to go after him because he's playing Spock chess and it's eventually going to work out okay, and he knows it'll just make Trump look worse and it'll bait dickheads like this into no? All right. What why have they been authorized?
I'm confident. Thank you very much.
That was intense. And they're all...
Yeah, I don't know. He ran away. It's amazing. He was all sweaty and mad and... Oh, no, he just walked off? Okay.
pretty much talking about the same thing. They want to know more. This image gave me a case of deja vu. In the final days of the Nixon administration, it was a very similar kind of atmosphere and scene. So there's a...
Yeah, and at no time during the Trump administration was there anything like that.
The special counsel that they just picked, William Hur, he's going to be looking into Joe Biden, although Devin Nunes, who will be joining us in a little bit, seems to think he might be compromised.
Oh, well, by the way, how do you know he's compromised? You can tell right away. There's some key details, and it's not his race. I mean, obviously, people would jump on that and think that that's the reason. The reason he's compromised is because both Greg and Devin Nunes know that this is a bag full of farts, and it's never going to amount to anything. And so they got to prep themselves that there was something there, but it's that guy.
Meantime, very prominent Democrats. Remember, Joe Biden wasn't exactly everybody's pick initially.
I called it.
These people want to be president, and they want to be bad. You think they're going to sit...
They want to be dirty presidents.
Back right now? And what about this person? Michelle.
Yeah, okay. So Michelle Obama has, planted classified documents at Biden's house, and now she's just circling like a fucking shark because that's her nature. Jesus Christ.
It's been about her all along. This, I do believe, is the grand plan. And it's about to take off.
That's right. Here it comes. Get ready for it. Greg is, and by the way, this is just letting you know that Greg is planning his attacks on Michelle Obama now.
But we'll see about that. I'll be right back.
I'm convinced. Christ almighty. Now, obviously, hi, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Thanks for being here. Yes, poor Greg is off his meds, clearly. Sure, we could go to someplace silly to talk about the documents scandal, like Greg Kelly, and of course he's gonna muck up the whole argument and fuck the whole thing and forget to point out the true elements of this, the stuff that we really got to pay attention to, and the not all hypocritical stuff about Trump on the right about it. We could go there because the dude's he's low hanging fruit in the media critic world. But would we even dare to go where the news is very serious? You and I. Would we venture into the world of the man that apparently women are throwing themselves at, according to, I think this might even be from the same broadcast. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Where is it? Yes, it's got to be under the video of. Come on, you. It was just up. Yeah, here it is. This is same show, same episode. Either that or he just kind of lately always wears a black shirt because he thinks it's slimming, even though it will not have any effect on his face.
15, 20 years ago. Now I go to a restaurant, I say, listen, can I be put in a private room? Not because I don't care about the public, it's going to make a major scene. If they don't have a private room, you know what happens? My food gets bought almost every time.
Oh, my God. That's not all that happens to it.
and I get mobbed all around the table, and I'm signing autographs for the waiters, and the
Oh, it's terrible.
owner comes out, and I get followed into the parking lot, and women are throwing themselves at me, and I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling you, when the
Yeah, no. I believe you. I don't think. You know what? It's not even something you're bragging about. It's a burden. It's a burden. How can you even handle that much ass? It's just
establishment that's so hated came out and demonized me and lied about me and attacked me. All this crap we've been put through. It's been hard for my family. It's been hard for me. We do get haters.
And by the way, you do look like you've been eating for free lately.
You do get stalkers. That 1% that attacks us is terrible. It's not all been roses, but
yeah, 99% of his stalkers want to blow him in an Applebee's parking lot.
They have made us way bigger and iconic out there, and it's
yes, you are an icon of shitty, grotesque cosplay Wolverine nonsense.
blown up in their face. 15, 20 years.
If you think that's blown up in the face, why do you follow me out of the parking lot? So, oh, okay. Yeah, and by the way, this is amazing. So apparently he's been talking to Tucker Carlson. There's a story about text messages between him and Tucker.
And boy, if they knew who else I was talking to. Members of Congress.
Yeah, we know you're talking to the MTGs of the world.
Foreign leaders.
Yeah, the Erdogan.
Other big Fox host.
Big Fox hosts. Who could that be? Not Jesse Waters. Certainly not Greg Gutfeld. He already said Tucker. It's not Sean Hannity. Harris Fokker. No. Kilmeade.
I mean, I go out and have dinner with them. They all know I'm right.
Uh-huh.
They can't go all the way. Only Tucker is able, for some reason, to be able to get everything out. And he is the freest.
He is the freest. That's how I look at him. Tucker's the freest. He's so free. He makes me feel like I live in a bird cage. Speaking of free to walk around with a backpack and a couple hours to kill near the DNC and RNC headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen.
What do you make of Biden saying he knew nothing about the documents at his foundation at Penn State? Now, more documents pertaining to China, just like at Penn State. We know he and his son have been on the Chinese payroll. That came out on the laptop and more.
Nope. There is no laptop. And again, this pokes a hole in his whatever credibility he thinks he has.
How smoking gun is this? Because as you know,
not at all.
A vice president cannot declassify documents. Only a president can do it. So what Trump did was totally legal and totally normal.
He didn't declassify them.
And now we know Biden has them at his house. This is insane.
No, you are. Again, this is like we could reiterate all these fucking talking points again and a fucking again.
This is a very serious issue, and we're already.
Jesus Christ, what is the audio going on? Is she in 5.1?
Having a lot of meetings on this, and I've been.
I bet so many meetings, a lot of meetings
involved, and I've spoken with President.
Sorry, I have a weird point.
Trump multiple times about it. The President of the United States is the only one that can declassify documents. The vice.
Oh, so they're declassified now then. Retroactively, I guess he can do that, right? He can. Even the moment they are found, they're declassified. As soon as he became president.
Vice President cannot declassify documents, and for Joe Biden to be in possession of classified documents, that means that he stole them.
No, it doesn't. If he stole them, he wouldn't have returned them. The act of trying to keep something you know is not yours is theft. The act of finding something that is not yours among your things and returning them is normal.
He's not supposed to be in possession of those. But what we're seeing and the fact that his own staff, his own attorneys is revealing that Joe Biden, three times they're revealing that he is in possession of classified documents. I think.
No, one time, 3 places. He didn't take some and then while returning those, sneak some other ones out back in time, whatever the fuck.
There's a lot to be said there. I think
Yeah, go ahead and then say
One
it.
question is, number one, what are these documents and why is he in possession of them? Well, clearly, I believe he stole them. Number
Well, I don't need any more. Do you guys need any more? I think I got it.
two, why is his own staff and his own attorneys being the one to reveal this information?
And again, Biden's garage looks totally secure. You guys, are those the documents? No.
I think there's a lot there too. Are they preemptively trying to stop more information from coming out, or are we actually seeing the Democrat Party starting to turn on Joe Biden?
Yeah, I hope that. I think that's the main one. By the way, this is too fucking long to like. It's another one of these loop fucking things. That's the theory. That's the overall theory of the things. That this is not about these documents. All this stuff about it is not just the regular order of him cleaning out that office, finding those things, and then doing due diligence on other places. Going, we should, button that shit down, and then the unavoidable news story afterwards. It is the fact that Michelle Obama and certain Machiavellian Democrats are angling for his job. And yes, imp formation is what she said. She said imp formation. Imp formation. Now, speaking of someone who never, ever misspeaks, ladies and gentlemen, the fortunate son himself, Cokie McCokerson. This week shows why woke never works is the title of this one. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. God help us.
Okay, guys, it's been a disastrous week for
oh my God, it's so bad, guys.
the Biden administration.
It's so terrible. I mean, guys.
And it wasn't just a garage gate. You had the
I think they just have a door on it. I think the property has a gate.
FAA grounding all.
Oh my God, not the FAA grounding that lasted 4 hours, guys, because the software hadn't been updated in years, and all during the Trump administration, you don't say.
Lights because the Department of Transportation didn't think to update like an almost 75-year-old system. But you know what they did?
It's a 75-year-old system. 4 of those 5 years were with your fucking dad as president. Just throwing that out there.
Have time for? This is the stuff I mentioned earlier.
Oh my guys, you can't make this up, guys. I was so excited.
Earlier in the week that I said I would going into.
Remember that thing I was telling you about? I'm going to go into it. What was the thing I was interested in again? What was I talking about?
They had time to make sure that racial equity, inclusion, income inequality, environmental justice, and climate change.
And climate change, is it just me? Seriously, I didn't think this fucker could get any more nasal. It turns out that 2 FAA contractors fucked up the software. Well, hello. It's interesting that we're getting to the bottom of it. And then what do? Solve it, move on. And then if there's another problem, because life is life, solve that one. That's fascinating. I have to look that up.
We're part of the DOT and FAA's focus.
The fuck does that have to do with anything? Okay, guys, I don't know if you know this, but the Weather Channel, as part of their woke agenda, has changed. They've got an Asian lady doing the weather in some areas, and they've got a Hispanic lady doing it in Spanish and stuff, and that did nothing to stop the hurricanes, guys.
In the 2023 budget. So if you're surprised that the FAA...
Hold on. Oh, okay. That stuff was in the 2023 budget. Let's see. Let's look at it. FAA budget 2023. I'm sure he's got a copy of it in front of him. FAA budget 3% rise overall. I mean, it's just wokety woke, wokeness, woke, security and hazardous materials. That's woke. Next gen, woke. Staff offices, Office of Integration and Engagement on woke. Justification program activity, grants and aid for airports, personnel and related expenses. Wokety woke. Airport terminal program, other information, relief for airports, aviation user fees, airport airways trust fund, wokety woke, just everywhere. Look at it. It's just terrible. Back creation of administration Guys, creation of assistant administrator for research and development. Why does, if they've got an administrator, why can't they assist themselves? Guys, creation of assistant administrator for assistant manager for integration and engagement. Oh my God, they made another job. What, guys? Chief technology officer. What they hired a new chief technology officer. And look, came right in and fucked everything up. They haven't actually hired the person yet, but that's okay. Capital investments, background highlights, important factors affecting plan for the future, key considerations in capital planning, next gen, NAS modernization, sustaining systems. Yeah, it's just all, look at this. Probably for equity and inclusion. Barf, barf. Guys, this year, the FAA's budget, all it said was more black gay women in charge of stuff they know nothing about. Hey, guys. So you can't make this up.
FAA systems went down this week, grounding all domestic flights. You shouldn't be, because it's clear where their priorities are.
Hold on. I have to look at FAA to contractors, you said? Says computer failure that grounded thousands of flights. This is Fortune. FAA says computer failure that grounded thousands of flights was caused by two contractors who introduced data errors in NOTAM system. Probably black guys, gay, black, trans, poor, probably poor, uneducated, affirmative action hires guys who were put in charge of planes and all right. The computer failure that prompted a halt of all U.S. flight departures was caused when a data file was damaged as a result of a failure to follow government procedures. Oh, hey, it was a problem we'd already fixed and somebody didn't follow instructions. The Federal Aviation Administration said Thursday. Unspecified personnel were responsible for corrupting the file, which led to the outage of an FAA computer system that sends safety notices to pilots. The agency said in a statement that triggered the FAA to order a halt to all U.S. departing flights, causing thousands of delays and cancellations on Wednesday. The system is functioning properly and cancellations today were below 1%, the agency said. The preliminary indications are that two people working for a contractor introduced errors into the core data used on the system known as the Notice to Air Missions, or NOTAM. According to a person familiar with the FAA review, the person asked not to be identified, speaking on a sensitive ongoing issue. NOTAMs are advisories. By the way, when I'm taking flight lessons, that you check NOTAMs to get when you're prepping for your flight and all that stuff. And in the middle, you can get updates. Depending on the length of the flight or how long you're up. Like other computer systems that are critical operating flights, the FAA has imposed procedures to ensure data aren't damaged by technicians working on them, said the person. The file or files were altered in spite of rules that prohibited those kind of changes on a live system. Agency officials are attempting to determine whether the two people made the changes accidentally or intentionally, and if there was any malicious intent. When the system began having problems Tuesday night, technicians switched to a backup, but because the backup was attempting to access the same damaged data, it also didn't work, the person said. A complete shutdown was required to restore the system, leading the FAA to halt all flight departures for roughly 90 minutes Wednesday morning. It was, Airplane-ageddon. The agency is attempting to create new protections to prevent such a failure in the future. The person said portions of the NOTAM system are as old as 30 years, not 75, as Junior says. By the way, they're in the process of recognizing that there was an Easter egg problem that still existed, and now they're going to fix it. And they're going to update the rest of the system because Pete knows what the fuck he's doing.
Remember, guys, there are no underserved communities when no one is served. That was a line I read on Twitter. And
yes, that you heard that right. Don Jr. is stealing jokes off of Twitter.
They're 100% right. That's
who? Name them. You stole their jokes. Say who they are. You fucking hack.
Washington think. Okay.
Okay.
You know what else they focused on?
Gay planes. No, not gay planes. Not that. Planes that take extra wide seats for fat people and their emotional service pets. No. Fuck, that's not it, Hal. Get it together. What could it be? They were busy painting rainbows on all the planes for Pride, which is now year-round. All right.
The NOTAM system. As a pilot, I know a little bit about it, but...
All right, tell us about it. As a pilot, I know a little bit about it. Well, yeah, knock it out, motherfucker.
The notice to airmen. That's the acronym. What N?
He's up on it. He really is, and it's good, you know, because he's a pilot. He doesn't have to read it like he's reading it. Look at the panic at like I'm just reading something, and then there's like, oh my god, I have to read face.
NOTAM.
Yes, we know how NOTAM is spelled.
Stands for. So in recent times, the FAA changed that. December of 2021 to notice to air missions. Not notice to airmen, not something that's been around for a while that every pilot knows about. So it's...
By the way, zero fucking material change. Notice to air missions because not all pilots are men. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? He thinks that this was the piece of data that they introduced. Somebody wrote in that, like, there's a chick pilot on this fucking plane. What
it's
the
not
fuck?
To offend. We have to make it air missions because airmen implies just men and apparently...
Right. And it isn't just men. Missions works better. And it's a notice. And by the way, they changed it to missions because it used to be men and they could just keep the M and transfer over. It was just easier to keep saying. Who gives a shit? You don't even say, like, I've got my, you know, notice to air missions data. You say NOTAM. Who gives a shit?
Not women. This is what they're focused on.
Look at Jesus Christ. Can you imagine being this scared to lose your place on a book report? It's weird, isn't it? This always strikes me. Like sometimes you'll have his notes up and he's like, what was I going to say? But this is getting worse.
So this is their priority.
Changing one word in a manual. You do realize we live in a digital age, and that happens like this. That's it. That was the end of it. And then they could go right back to dealing with a problem that existed all during your dad's presidency and nothing was done about it?
Pro tip. 0 women in aviation were likely offended by NOTAM, okay? It's an acronym.
Okay.
No one cares.
Yeah, it's still the same. It is still the same one. The interesting thing is, were women offended by NOTAM, meaning men? Probably not. The fucked up thing is that he's definitely offended. He's offended by men being changed to missions in this. Holy shit.
It's...
All right.
It's hard to believe, okay?
Yes, it is. It's hard to believe that you think that the changing of one word in the description of a system that does not affect the vernacular with which pilots discuss it was the reason that 2 FAA subcontractors entered some code and fucked up the basics. Oh, Jesus.
But again, remember, folks, we can't update these systems. We can ground domestic flights, but you know what we can't do? We can't.
He meant to say, you know what we can do? We can, and then he fucked himself into a corner.
We can't fix that because we're so busy sending $130 billion to the Ukraine, okay?
First of all, again, the FAA budget went up. Where is it? The FAA budget. 2023 FAA budget requests $18.6 billion represents an increase of 3.3% from the fiscal year 2022 continuing resolution level. Sorry, did we scoop money out of the FAA to replace one word and help Ukraine? Get the fuck out of here.
That's what's going on. These people.
That's totally what's going on, guys. The planes aren't there. The gals. The planes aren't there. They sent them to Ukraine. They're using them to ship our money out of Ukraine and send it to Wilmington, Delaware.
I don't know what the fuck.
People aren't serious.
And you are?
I point these things out and they say, Pete Buttigieg is credibly qualified because he has a bunch of academic degrees. I go, well, what does that have to do? Is he a pilot?
was Elaine Chao?
Does he understand anything about the FAA? Does he
Yes.
understand anything about transportation? Because all I...
No, he's never been in a car. Actually, he's too small. He has to wear. He's diminutive, so he has to sit in a child seat. So he's never actually sat in the front seat of a car. So he doesn't even know what the pedals do. Maybe you could tell him. Maybe you know what you should do is get some construction paper and a crayon.
I know is that he's overseen disasters from a supply chain crisis.
Not of his causing, that they solved pretty quickly.
Okay, then he was.
Okay, he was there. I blame him for the Suez Canal snafu during my dad's presidency.
Conveniently on paternity leave for, because only 350 million Americans depended on him. Like, God forbid, maybe you show up anyway.
Also, the idea of primacy solution, which is what this family runs on, is that there is a singular idea man, or that the directives or that the person below him can't arguably understand the solution matrix of what's being worked on in any particular area of government is mind-blowing to these fuckheads, because they don't actually produce anything. The Trump organization is a labeling endeavor ever since his grandfather died.
To remember the borderline train strike and the disaster that went on.
The borderline train strike that didn't happen and got worked out, and the trains went on time. And you remember the thing? Remember the disaster that didn't happen? That's his fault too.
With that for weeks during a...
Because you had to hear it on the news. That's why it's a disaster. Because something might have happened, and then it didn't happen, and then it might have happened again, and then it didn't happen. And that's rough on him. You know what I mean? When you've got that many grains in your nostrils, you're gonna get some fucking paranoid thoughts from almost any news story.
A supply chain crisis. Now
Did he mention the supply chain crisis though?
The FAA, and that's what happens when you get qualified candidates and they're overlooked because you put in some...
Like, he's doing this. He's jumping past his answer. So it's like, you can't do this, but what you can do, and he fucked that up by saying what you can't do and had to double back on what he was saying. And this is when he went straight to, he brain farted that Pete Buttigieg is qualified. And then he went, but these people don't get the job because they're going to give it to some gay dude because he's got babies.
Someone with academic credentials that checks off a bunch of woke boxes because...
Right, because he's gay. Why did your father put Elaine Chao in charge? What were her qualifications, beside the fact that her family owns a shipping business that was linked to cocaine trafficking and her husband is Mitch McConnell?
Because he happens to be gay and no one cares.
Right, no one cares. It's not why he got the job.
Okay, that's the problem. That's
what it is. They put a gay guy in charge. They start inviting women in, and the whole thing goes to shit.
This is extraordinary. I don't know how this ends with young Don here. I can't see it ending well. Can I get a Ben Carson exactly? His credentials. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's I wouldn't call it a vocation. I guess is coke a hobby?
The problem, folks. And that's where we are, and that's why it continues. Have a good one.
That's where we are, and that's what we're doing, and that's how it's done, and that's what happens. And there's just going to be, just get ready for more gay dudes crashing our entire thing. It's just, you can't even get in a plane anymore without it being all gay and stuff. I blame the Virgin planes. They're guys, they're woke lights. Holy shit.
It's a job to his sinuses. No kidding. Holy God. Yeah, the texture of his voice is changing a lot over time, and not in a good way. I know a lot of people are like worried about my cough, and bless your heart. Thank you. I'm fine. I'm okay. And it only really bothers me. The interesting thing is when I'm talking for long periods of time, which if you'll notice, my hardest days of coughing are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I have 2 shows a day. That's when I'm midway through a show and I'm like, but Tuesday and Thursday, I barely cough at all. And that's because it's just getting over something. Anyways, that's concerning. That's some serious shit. It's weird. It's so like it's not like whatever coke damage, blah blah blah, that kind of, whether it's physical to his nasal passages and all that shit, we don't know. But the wind up on it too, where he's just kind of like none of that is good. And together, fucking horrible. So anyways, hi, you're watching HAL, SPARKS, Mega Worldwide. Thanks. And by the way, can I just say hi to the chat for a second? Is that okay? Hi, chat. How you guys doing? Hello. Don't break the moneymaker yet. Well, that's the thing, is that and I've got to sing a lot next week. So, and some heavy duty stuff. And I'm excited. I've been working on it. The hard part is, like, I love all the songs that I'm doing Tuesday. Sometimes when they give me songs and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I like it. It's a little bit of work, but I'll play around with it. And then some songs I'm like, ooh. And Tuesday's a lot of ooh. Whoa, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Yeah, I get to do that one. Lawman has put an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And I'm going to be doing Stone Cold Crazy. It'll be hard not to do it like James Hetfield. And yeah, it's going to be rough. And then I think we're doing Highway to Hell as well. Don't quit my day job. I'll have you know. What about humidifier? Honestly, it's just healing. I let my body heal. Let's see. Do I have a chip in my throat? Yeah. Well, we definitely have a lot of like cat dander in the house. That's true. But no, I'm fine. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, that is the note. That's it. And it has to hurt if it is to heal. That's right. Exactly. You just let it. Yeah. Who are you to wave your finger? You must have been out your head. There you go. I hold deep in muddy water. You practically raise the dead. That's The Pot by, see, so if my lungs were fucked, I wouldn't be able to sing it. I'm just trying to get, trying to save it up and work on targeting notes, because that's one of the other things that I have to do. Do I sing any GNR? I have done probably Paradise City like half a dozen times at least with Steel Panther over the years. So, Gummies are the best. Do the Ramones. That's almost too easy. I took singing lessons from Santos. Well, I mean, he sang with Iron Maiden for 2 of the biggest albums. So there you go. I am not your monkey. This is true. I like Incubus. I'm gonna have to work that into the set at some point. What would be a good one for Valentine's Day? There's a couple of them. Yeah. But the hard part is the jig is up, the news is out, they finally found me, the renegade who had it made, retreat for a bounty, never more to go astray, judge will have the head today of the wanted man, the wanted man. That one, like finding that note with as little effort as possible is what I've been working on, and I will over the next couple of days. I don't know if I blew my mic out for that, but there you go. Junior looks like a stick figure. It's not, yeah, he's wasting away. And I don't want to turn. Oh no! That whole part at the end. Yeah. Scared my cat. Oh yeah, you're what was the when we had that? Your what you call it? Scared my cat. We had that a long time ago. It was going to be a T-shirt. 18 in life. Go. Your Getty Lee scared my cat. Yeah, your Getty scared my cat. Ricky, hold on one second. Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart of stone. Lived not too far, but he worked his fingers to the bone. Just barely out of school. There you go. How do you like that? I love Beavis and Butthead. That was yours? Yeah. Sorry, Quiver. I'm sorry I made him quiver. Why am I doing this? For fun. You know, sometimes we take a break in the show. All right, we'll get back to it. This is the part I wanted to see. Here we go. Hi, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. We took a singing break. We're okay. We're back. It's all right. My Getty Lee scares cats. Right. It's good. By the way, my cats, when I sing around the house and I'm working on a song, they all think I'm in distress. And that's how I know I'm hitting the notes. When the song sounds right and I've got enough passion behind it, my cats think I'm dying. All right, so this is okay, guys. Simmer. This is a serious moment, okay? Serious now. Seriously, guys. Seriously, settle down. Seriously. They're being attacked for friendship. Not for their friendship, just the general, guys, seriously, for friendship, okay? That's not right. That's wrong. They're being attacked because they're friends. And that's a crime to have friends now? Is that what woke means? Is that what woke means? You can't have friends anymore? That's the true friends. Such friends.
I thought the Huffington Post would be the first to break it. They've been the ones calling it, but Rolling Stone has all my text messages from 6 months.
Oh, that's got to be rough. Let's see. Are you free tonight? Are you lonesome tonight? Man, your face is a fright. Alex Jones, are you lonesome tonight? Alex Jones, what are you doing? Tucker Carlson, why do you ask? Are you lonesome and broke as shit tonight? Here we go. Rolling Stone. Here you go. Are you free tonight? Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson's cozy text leak. The messages obtained by HuffPost provide a partial snapshot to the extent which Jones felt comfortable petitioning Carlson for his personal PR needs. Leaked text messages. Sorry. Let's see. They have some of them in here. Let's see. Fairly innocuous, but the communications give a glimpse of long-standing friendship. Blah, blah, blah. The InfoWars host told HuffPost the pair have been friends for at least a decade, and Carlson does give a flying fuck what people think about their relationship. God damn it, you right. You tell them. Tell them to step off. Through the escalation of the pandemic, the violence of January 6th, Carlson appointed himself as a principled advocate for Jones, made on-air statements praising him or whatever. In April, Carlson gave one of his most revealing statements on Jones, telling viewers of his subscription-based Fox News show that he never understood why Jones received so much hate. He seems really talented. And he's smart. He's funny as hell. He's truly funny. He's a lot more talent than I am in a lot of ways. That's my takeaway from Alex Jones. Jones was ordered a full growth of $1 billion, blah, blah, blah. Where are the actual ones? I guess we'll have to go to HuffPost for that. Is that what happens? Obtained by HuffPost. Here we go. Exclusive. Alex Jones phone dump revealed text combos with Tucker Carlson. Surprising warning was, hold on. Get out of here. Yeah, it was Simply Safe. What are you doing? Move out of my way. Let's see. Dead children. Coronavirus. The subhead read, Fox News host saves America. I tried man. Carlson texted Jones back according to a record of their conversations. That's funny. Hi, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, what are you doing? Yep, let's see. I tried man, gonna minimize, blah, blah, blah. Democrats were working to get me arrested. Jones was complaining about the Daily Caller, right-wing publication founded by Carlson for not letting InfoWars feature its content on the InfoWars. They won't even let me make money, Jones whined to Carlson in January 15th. Fucking crazy. I'm really sorry. Because he wanted to pitch his dick pills. Mr. Jones didn't... oh, yeah, that's right. That's when they got... when they went public. Will be... Here you go. Will be China. Oh man, it just they know how to find my fucking sweet spot, don't they? Will be China. Despite Carlson's warning to the president and his plea on Fox News program for his audience to take the virus seriously, by April 2020, he appeared to be trading unfounded conspiracy theories with Jones. Early on the morning of April 27th, Jones texted Carlson to a link to an InfoWars article that complained about a pharmaceutical company that was briefly suspended from Twitter after it posted a video that depicted an experimental ultraviolet technology designed to kill the coronavirus. It's to get the light inside there. And then, YouTube also removed the video for its website for promoting unsubstantiated claims, but not before the video racked up more than 17 million views. The idea of using UV light to kill the virus was briefly touted after Trump talked about shining a very powerful light inside the body. The whole concept of the light, the way it kills in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Carlson repeated that to Jones the text with, I saw this, they're clamping down. Will be China soon, Carlson warned. Trump could vindicate himself by covering it. That's why they are taking it down, as you know. That deep state thing, the deep state or deep staties. Well, let's see what he has to say about it.
In the year 2019 into early 2020, talk about stalking. And the reporter I talked to yesterday kept saying, I want Tucker to know that I'm reading his text. I want you to tell him that I'm going to do an article on him. And he goes, have you talked to Tucker? Have you talked to Tucker? And I said,
it's an interesting voice. I don't know if that's just like the HuffPost person that they have in Texas and that everybody in Texas sounds like an old sidekick coot from old Western. I'm telling you better tell that Tucker Carlson a hoo-da-hoo. Yeah.
I'm not going to answer your question, but I'll tell the listeners. Yeah, I did. And Tucker said they can fuck off. But I'm going to say, yeah, there's this quote for your story, but I respect my audience, so I'll tell my audience what Tucker said.
I think both of them are probably going to see this.
Off, I don't care. I'm proud to be your friend. There's your quote. From Tucker.
Was that a direct quote? That's what he said? Or are you just kind of summarizing?
Tucker, when I talked to him yesterday morning. So it's...
Oh, you guys talked yesterday morning. That's good. What time? Like right before breakfast?
It's just insane.
No, it isn't. The connection between your Looney Tunes view of the world and Tucker Carlson actually having, allegedly a legit news show and then a secondary one on Fox Nation is meaningful because there should be a distance between the two, but you guys are,
how they try to bully and intimidate and
And believe me, Alex handpicked those photos because those are the ones that make him smile.
Oh, Alex Jones knows Tucker and Tucker's bad. Tucker Carlson's defended.
No, it's kind of the other way. You're both awful in your own way.
Me more than 50 times on air, and I appreciate him because he knows I'm telling the truth, and I'm a good person, and so is he.
Nah, I think you're both lunatics on the same level.
And I love Tucker Carlson, and I'm so...
Don't be ashamed of that. Tell us all about it. Tell us about that love. What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? What about love? Don't let him step away. I'm sorry.
So glad that
I'm scaring your cat. My heart scares your cat.
He dominates the news cycle. Said I'll get to it later, but look at this article.
Yeah, you don't have to get to it at all. He dominates the news cycle. We know.
Then admit, it's 6 months of text messages, the end of 2019, early 2020. And they say it's innocuous and there's nothing there.
Not quite, but yeah, they say the most of them.
It just shows how influential Jones is and how radical Tucker Carlson is. And then they sit there like schoolgirls and talk about our private messages.
No, they made a picture of you that looked like you were schoolgirls, and that's why you hate it and why you're mad.
And pour over them.
How dare they? Okay, and then there's the ad, whatever.
Guys, you remember they falsely said in that rigged court where the judge already said I was guilty 5 months ago in Texas and the whole Sandy Hook garbage.
Yeah, it's just Sandy Hook garbage. Yeah, that'll work out. Say more of that. That'll help. That'll make it. That'll definitely help with an appeal. This won't be evidence at all.
That they had my whole phone for 2 years and it had January 6th stuff on it, and they were referring it to law enforcement, and I was caught. All this crap. I gave all my cell phones to my lawyers, did all the discovery.
Yeah, and your lawyers gave your cell phones to the plaintiff because they're fucking idiots.
The judge said I gave no discovery, and my lawyers even sent a raw text of 6 months off my phone. They dug through it all, of course, found nothing. I think the media will probably make something up at some point.
Yeah, they'll just show. You mean, are you saying that when an electronic device gets out of your control, there's a chance that somebody could just pretend something was on it, type it up, and I don't know, print it out and hold it up and go, this is from the Alex Jones laptop that was dropped off, like that? Is that what you mean?
So angry. But they had Tucker Carlson text message.
By the way, the media doesn't have to make up anything that Alex Jones does. That's the hilarious part. Dude, all this dude does is spout crazy, vile horse shit all day.
Messages between he and I. And I'm not going to get into Tucker Carlson. We've been friends for more than 10 years.
Yeah, if it's taking you 10 years to get in him, you're not going to get in at all. I would give up and move on. You in trouble, girl.
And we get dinner and stuff and we hang out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they were...
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's all the people who are bothering you in restaurants and these people coming around asking for autographs. They're actually asking for Tucker's, probably.
Asking me all this stuff. I didn't answer their questions when the Huffington Post and a bunch of...
Yeah, I don't talk to the media. They're going to misquote me anyways, even though it's recorded and I could record it. And then I'd have to admit that I said what they said I said.
Others called. I called one of the reporters up and made jokes at him. I said, oh, you caught me in the closet. You're like the hall monitor in 6th grade.
Sixth grade. Why were you in the closet of with a 6th grader?
You're, on to me. And I mean, everybody knows Tucker Carlson's been on the show some. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows we wake up and we talk before coffee and right after coffee, and we talk during our morning constitutional, and then we talk right after lunch. Everybody knows. Everybody knows, that sometimes it's movie night.
And everybody knows he said that I was right about almost everything on air.
I don't know if he went that far.
But they act like they catch us in something. And I thought the Huffington Post would be the first to break it. They've been the ones calling me, but Rolling Stone has all my text messages from 6 months in the year 2019 into early 2020. Talk about
how many free Schwann's dinner? Yeah, Swanson dinners. Yeah, he gets to eat them like Joel in Risky Business.
Stalking. And the reporter I talked to yesterday kept saying, I want Tucker to know. Listeners, yeah, I did. And Tucker said they can. I don't him a truth, and I'm a good person, and so is he. And I love Tucker Carlson, and I'm so glad that he dominates the news cycle. This is the level of garbage that these people engage in.
The tabloids. I mean, never has Alex felt so Megan.
And that's exactly what it is. It's total and complete garbage.
Well, it's your text messages, so sure.
And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, honest to God, you guys having a business acquaintance and some sort of thing that both of you think passes as a friendship. But these are two guys that talk at and past other people, not with. For a living, much less in their private life.
And boy, if they knew who else I was talking to.
Mm-hmm. I know everybody. I got to. Yeah, this is his Trump. I know the best people moment.
Members of Congress, foreign leaders, other big Fox hosts. I mean, I go out and have dinner.
Yeah, other big Fox hosts. Yeah.
They all know I'm right. They can't go all the way. Only Tucker is able for some reason to be able.
Yes, the nice thing about Tucker is when he and Alex hang out, Tucker goes all the way.
To get everything out, and he
gets everything out, and they go all the way.
He's the freest.
He is free. I mean, he doesn't have any limits. That's the amazing thing. No safe word, no nothing. That's the great thing about Tucker.
And I'm not going to give you the inside baseball in it, but
no, but he can fit a baseball inside him, and it takes a while, and you got to work up to it. You can't rush into those things.
Let's just say this: Tucker did not get paid what he could get paid to have total freedom.
Yeah, let me tell you, if he would just move over and join InfoWars, he could just sit under the desk.
And so he's done a lot to be able to tell the truth. And I think Tucker's an icon, and I love him, and it's great. And I know how Tucker.
It is great that you love him. I'm glad. I don't know what you consider love, and that concerns me, but I'm glad you're trying.
Operates. Dummies. Your attempts to drive a wedge between Tucker and I.
Yeah, don't drive a wedge between. No one can drive a wedge. Driving a wedge is just frankly, it's wrong. It's not how you get a wedge into something. Anyways, you can't drive it. But you can't. It's like dry aging a wedge into something. Don't.
And our families.
Oh, you guys. Is it kind of like a Brady Bunch thing, or?
Is going to do nothing but blow up in your faces. So please.
Yeah, so I get it. You and I'm trying to catch up. If you're just joining the show, Alex loves Tucker. They have a Brady Bunch kind of family. Tucker doesn't use safe words. He can fit a baseball inside him, and sometimes it blows up in Alex's face. I'm just grabbing bits and pieces.
I shouldn't be so honest with the enemy. No, let me do this instead. I'll be sarcastic.
I shouldn't be too honest with the enemy, which apparently is whoever's watching.
Please stop reporting on me and Tucker Carlson. Please don't tell Tucker not to talk to me. Please don't tell Tucker not to defend me. Stop. Don't throw me in the.
Oh, this is the Briar Patch kind of.
Briar Patch.
Right. Yeah. Whatever.
Do not leave me and Tucker alone. Stop it. You're going to make him be mean to me. Oh, no.
Totally a real laugh, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen one, but in the wild. But that's a genuine laugh. That is the laugh of a man who's just, sometimes the joy just leaps out of you.
It's just, don't they get it? We don't care what you say. We don't care what you do.
That's right. Okay? They love each other. And if they want a farm in the middle of nowhere together, that's their business.
And in fact, when you tell us not to do something, we do it more.
Great. That's mature. That's brilliant. Now I can't stop thinking of things that I want to tell you to do. I'll tell you not to do. So don't blind yourself and walk through traffic. What the fuck?
I've already won. Let me give the left a little news flash.
Okay, good. Yeah, pens up, everybody.
And I'm not bragging. Then I'll go to your calls.
No, please. Yeah, my calls.
I'm giving you a status report on how positive things.
I've never seen anyone, sometimes I will cough and my voice recovers. Like there's a little bit of gargle comes up and then you're like cough and then you're back to normal. His voice is exactly the same.
The viewers and listeners are anonymous. Mm-hmm. You get to work as a doctor or a nurse or a school teacher or a police officer or
any member of the village people you want to be.
Farmer or an auto mechanic or an
Yeah, or a agent of a foreign government or a Macedonian Russian bot farm technician.
18-wheeler driver.
An 18-wheeler driver. Holy shit. Is there a special class I can take for that? What was that again?
The listeners are anonymous. Mm-hmm. You get to work as a doctor or a nurse or a school teacher or a police officer or a farmer or an auto mechanic or an 18-wheeler driver.
An 18-wheeler driver. That's great. That's I've seen ads for that on the side of the road.
Or an artist or a...
Yeah, an artist who also is an 18-wheeler driver.
You get to be anonymous.
Yeah, you could be the spaceman, the cowboy, the Indian chief,
wife knows you, your husband knows you, your church knows you, your family. But when you go to the store, you're anonymous. I'm not anonymous. I'm known all over the world. And let me tell you what happens.
You only notice the people that like you.
For 15, 20 years, everywhere I go, I shake hands, and the positive responses were 95%.
Because everybody else just avoids you. The only people that will shake hands with you are true believers, and anybody. That's why you have an overwhelming positive response. You've built a bubble, and it follows you everywhere.
Let me tell you, but it would be only, if I was in a restaurant, maybe one group would come over 15, 20 years ago. Now I go to a restaurant, I say, listen, can I be put in a private room? Not because I don't care about the public.
All right, this is the shit we saw on the news before. And by the way, he or on Twitter before. And for the record, he's a fucking meme. The one thing that I think Alex Jones and even maybe Tucker, God forbid, at this point doesn't recognize, that the generation that's coming up, the Instagram generation, the photograph your lunch generation, will take a meme shot with fucking anybody. Any celebrity, whether they like them or not, and the more egregious and fucked up, the better.
And now
chicks are digging him and blah blah blah. I mean, he's got this hot Canadian girlfriend. They met at camp. Sparks flew.
Sunglasses.
I did. I literally flew over and I was like, look.
In a ball cap if I'm going to hike, and I don't.
Yeah. Tell me about the hiking, Alex. Give us when was the last big hike you wanted? You look like a hiker. I gotta say, hiking, is that your all right?
I don't even talk. People recognize my voice because I can't walk in the woods. I can be in the woods.
Yeah, you could be alone in the woods, and the wolves recognize him as an alpha.
Somebody around me would say, my kids fishing, and people hear me 20 yards away and go, oh, it's Alex Jones. So,
yelling at his children. Like he sounds exactly like the show because he's screaming at them.
If you want to know how popular freedom is, if you want to know how popular the awakening is, I'm a litmus test. I'm like a sensor in an engine to tell you how hot the engine is or how much.
That's what you are.
Gas is left in the tank. I'm a
like a Geiger counter for radioactive turds.
Sensor. So because I'm a public figure, I get to see the response.
Ooh. Now somebody's bragging. He's a public figure. I hope you put that on your LinkedIn.
And I'll be honest, when Trump...
Why start now?
Trump first got elected, I went from 20-1 positive comments to 15-5 positive versus negative. So for every 15 positive on the street, I get 5 negative. It was bad. If I walk down the street, cars would pull over, F you, Russian spy, I'm going to kill you, you're a horrible person. It was rough the first few years of Trump.
Yeah, apparently that one person who, I guess, lives on his block.
Because I was getting some major hate. Now it's 99% love.
Right, because no one talks to you.
I go to the grocery store, love. I go to a random church. The preacher comes at the end and shakes my hand.
No. Alex Jones is not going to random churches.
Listen for years at a mega church.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. It's random mega churches, which are not so random because there's only like 7. And he flies in to specifically talk. And it's an arranged thing. Also, do you hike to the random mega church? Is that part of your walking the earth like Forehead Gump?
It's love. Go to a small church. It's love. Go to
any medium-sized churches, they'll fuck with you. Yeah, the small and the big ones.
A wedding in the middle of nowhere. It's love. Go
a wedding in the middle of nowhere.
Go to a place to go fishing on the coast. The whole
the fish love me. The fucking the carp. All I have to do, you stick your dick in the water, and it's love.
We're not charging you to deep sea fishing $1,000. Mr. Jones, the gas is free too.
Yeah, I mean they speak with a Russian or Chinese accent, but it's the sentiment is there.
We're going to take you fishing for free. By the way, when we catch.
By the way, be careful not to step in cement. Is for other passengers.
All these fish, I'm going to take you to the best places. I only take my family to even catch more fish. And then we're going to take you to a restaurant and cook those fish. And all I want to do is drink a beer with you. That's what I get. Love, 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 love. Because people know the government's hijacked. They know the Democratic Party are satanic pedophiles. They know.
That's a lot. No. And now our next guest, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You're a pack of lying, trash, and garbage. Black people. People, white people, Hispanics, Asians, gay.
I think he's lining up the people who like him now, not pack of trash followed by black people. That's a rough edit. Hold on.
They know the Democratic Party are satanic pedophiles. They know you're a pack of lying, trash, and garbage. Black people, white.
I'm just saying, as somebody who speaks for a living, you might want to organize your thoughts.
People, Hispanics, Asians, gay, straight, old, young, they love InfoWars. They love Alex Jones because they hate you. And
And I honestly don't know what he's mad about then.
They know you hate me, so they love me.
They love you to hate back at the haters. Okay. Well, that's the purest kind of love. That's the Jesus-y love, Jesus-iest love you can have. I love you, not because I love you, but because they hate you and I hate them more than I even have to speak to you. So if I say I love you, that just means that I'm saying I hate them. And I'm too weak to say I hate them, so I'll say I love you. And that's just, it works out. Can I get you a key lime pie or...
Remember Politico, we really helped Rand Paul get elected the first time in the Senate. They called up pissed and they go, what could we have done to defeat him? Why did he win by such a landslide when we attacked him so much? And I said, all you got to do is endorse him. All you got to do is endorse him. He'd have been voted out. Notice that the left's gotten smart now. They claimed MTG's a fake right-winger. And
yeah, we're saying that, not Laura fucking Loomer.
MTG's really a leftist because they...
No, that's where the fucking Q people are going now.
Gotten smart. They're like...
Because she supported McCarthy.
Oh, my God. What do we do? Well, we'll claim she's a sellout. Yeah, that...
No, we don't give a fuck.
That fooled a little bit, but not much. They're out.
Yeah, it didn't really work because she's too good.
Out of bullets, folks. They're failing. They're falling apart. They're...
Yeah, I know. I've given up. I don't know about you guys. It's really... Most of my days, I don't even experience, what's this word he used, love? I don't even, I suppose when the kittens don't scratch me, sometimes I feel maybe that's a moment of respite from the misery that is my life. And of course, I will be leaving here tonight immediately, taking off my shoes and socks and walking barefoot to the crater that used to be Portland. Rip Portland. I don't know. As a Democrat, and I guess one of, two that aren't satanic pedophiles, I mean, it's really awkward trying to find something to talk about at the big gatherings in front of the giant owl in the woods. And, gosh, you can't really make small talk when people are in the middle of carving somebody up and drinking their blood in an effort to raise the dark one. Funky weather we're having, it just lands flat. What am I supposed to do? Maybe one day, maybe if I developed an undiagnosed shellfish allergy.
A joke. So Tucker Carlson's message to the media, trying to shame him for being Alex Jones's friend is, I'm proud to be your friend. Tell them to F off. Tell them to F you.
It's interesting.
-K off.
FU-K off. All right, well, I guess 3 out of 4 letters is, I mean, he's within the ball. I mean, it's still a failing grade. Also, is there a reason he loves you? And he said this. There's a reason he can't say it. He can't come on the show and say it for some reason. Maybe record it. Maybe you can play it. Maybe you just make him say it into a record, and then you can just have him text voice it, and then you could hold it up to the microphone, and or are you making it up? I mean, I totally believe you, but
that's what Tucker Carlson's message is.
And by the way, to all the people who are treating him like he's some sort of like teenager who is like a child. This is a grown man.
F off. In fact, he wanted that.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, If only you wish you could be this mature.
That message to be relayed here. F off. Heck, he can't do it on Fox News.
What did he say? I missed it. Did he say?
They'll do it for him. Fuck off, mainstream
Oh, I see. Okay, I was so confused about what it meant.
media.
When you left out the C, I was like, is that fuke?
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Infowars.com tomorrow's news today. I promise I will go right to your calls. Stay with us. Big guest coming up as well.
Oh, yeah, and if he doesn't shoot you, apparently. This was the transition picture he put up. By the way, this is not a picture that he sent to Tucker Carlson. The picture he sent, sort of similar. He was holding something small, cold, and empty, with a hole in one end. But that's all I can say. By the way, you're watching, whoops, where am I? You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. I give proof. I just ran the credits. And hi, how are you? I'm gonna finish up on that because ew. And I've got radio in the morning. And Philip Bittner will be joining us in the second hour. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you guys. And do you guys enjoy the ones where they tell us what we think as much as I do? It's a strange, like, I find it particularly bemusing when that happens. You know what I mean? Like it's special. It's a special video. Those are I kind of look for those in the pile occasionally. The left thinks blah blah dot dot dot, right? The left is wanting you to. The left thinks that. And by the way, all of the theys that Rusty Trombone uses, that's what he means too. He just doesn't say the left because he's courting some like disillusioned progressives that think that that's, that they're still lefties because they hate, I don't know, the CIA or something. That's enough. You don't have to be for anything. That's just being mad at the CIA is enough. Or whoever the Illuminati or whoever the fuck is. But those particular ones, they're kind of, they've been kind of particularly fun. Diluted omniscience. I wouldn't rule it out. Hold on one second. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Hold on. Let's go full. There you go. Hi. Yes, peace and health to all of you guys. Love you. Tankies love Russia. Russell, I'm sure. Yes, they do. Oh, the Tankies love Rusty Trombone. They're big fans of his. Thank you guys. Thank you, mods. Absolutely. Thank you guys thank you, Shadow Woman, for the gifted subs. Bless you for doing that. It's so beautiful. Larry Fig, thank you. He says, Hal Sparks and the team. The team thanks you as well. I will pass that on. And Balt Thanos, thank you. Appreciate it. And thanks to our new subs. People are subscribing. Lynn, Terry, DW, thank you as well. Oh, and Shadow Woman, you're so great. Lulu Girl, thank you. Playing the hits tonight. Thanks, Hal. Needed absolutely. And Erica, thank you so much. Francie, thank you for the gifted subs as well. You guys, it's been beautiful. Tabby, thank you for the super chat. Also, did not even know these vice presidential records were classified. We're even missing. That's true. Or they would have notified them and they would have given them back. That's the other thing. Nika Crinkles, thank you so much for the gifted subs. It's amazing. TOH Show Live, bless you. You guys are awesome. And thank you for the super chat. It's just great. You guys, I'm overwhelmed and you're wonderful. And it's when you guys are that nice to me, I honestly, I don't know how I can even, it almost helps me get through the misery that is my day as a miserable Democrat who knows it's over and there's no hope and I can't even retreat to Portland. It's not there anymore. Oh God. So I will see you guys in the morning. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And remember, there's going to be a particularly juicy moment coming when what I would call the Durham effect happens with the Biden document story. And they know it's coming already and they're gearing up for it and they're trying to milk it as much as they can right now. And it's going to fade, and then they're going to, but what about, these guys are still clamoring about fucking Afghanistan. So, hilarious. Watch for that. It won't last 3 weeks, but after that, even with them, like, there's investigation, they'll tag onto those things. It'll be fun to watch. Acting, by the way, like they give a shit when all of those same things happened during the Trump administration, they're like, this is bullshit, politicized, blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes, Biden's approval rating has gone up during this entire time. Thank you, Hal. Beats the laptop, which I have. Oh, you have it. Fine. Are you guys passing it around? Yes, hail Chilania. Hail, hail Chilania, land of the brave and free. All right, rip Portland. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Merci beaucoup, Dorian.